everybody. It's so nice to see you again, and I'm hoping that today is a day of wellness and of peace. Um, Today I'd like to focus a little bit about how we can engage in contemplative practices. So we know that contemplative practices are those that soothe the nervous system. They promote the parasympathetic tone, which means that we engage in that rest and digest part of our system and calm down the fight or flight part of our system that is often overly activated, either because we've been using a bunch and we're coming off a substance, or maybe we're anxious and because of something that's going on around us or inside of us. So the contemplative practices are ancient practices that were developed all throughout the world in different forms, and the forms that I am the most familiar with are meditation and yoga. These are things that get a lot of press and attention in the last few decades, which is wonderful, but it's also a really wonderful thing because it's allowed us a lot of different platforms to learn. So when it comes to meditation, people often ask what it is. Meditation in its simplest form is to be in the present moment intentionally and to either focus on something like the breath, or to focus on what we call a mantra or a saying that we repeat mentally. And the real intention of meditation really is not to get it. I think a lot of people worry that meditation is something that's hard for them to master, and that's why it's something that monks do for their entire lives. But it doesn't mean that we can't try to, for a few moments, just still the mind. And the more we practice, the more we will find more and more stillness. So some of the ways I like to access meditation and educate a lot of my patients about is using mindfulness apps or meditation apps. There are a host of them available now. Some of them are free, some of them are not. Meditations like Calm, Headspace, Insight Timer. The one that I use the most and recommend to my patients is something called Stop, Breathe, and Think. Hello, butterfly. Stop, Breathe, and Think is a wonderful guided meditation app. Sometimes when you're a very anxious person, sitting in silence is very challenging, or even if you're a new meditator. So having a voice to guide you and take you through meditation can often be helpful. Stop, Breathe, and Think has a host of free content. Some of my favorite meditations on that app are gratitude, which we talked about last time. Gratitude really has the power to challenge the depressive and anxious thoughts that we have. Another is something called the body scan, which is just a series of taking note throughout the body. That has been scientifically proven to help people who have chronic pain, and also can be something that can be very helpful at night before bed to kind of shut down our thoughts and help us relax the body. And then the last is Relax, Ground, and Clear. That's another guided meditation that I think is particularly helpful for just centering your thoughts and taking it down a notch at any time of the day. What we know is that if you are in a moment of heightened stress, it's hard to be calm. So thinking about trying to practice these days, practice these exercises every day means that you're more likely to access that part of your brain when you're feeling more anxious. Another really great feature on a lot of these apps, Calm is one in particular, is that they have like a breath monitor, so you can kind of use the visual prompt to control your breathing. And sometimes even before you start to meditate, controlling your breathing is a really important way to just get in touch with that part of your nervous system and calm it down. The other really wonderful thing, if you're someone who needs to move around a lot, is yoga. Yoga has lots of different schools and lots of different forms. I think that if you were talking about how to relieve anxiety in particular, or how to soothe ourselves in particular, then things like yin yoga, restorative yoga, gentle yoga, these are all things that ease the nervous system and gently stretch the body. YouTube is a great resource for free classes around any of those, and you just kind of search those prompts: restorative yoga, yin yoga, or gentle yoga. And once you are able to, or if you're able to, get into a class where those are taught is another really wonderful way in a group setting to access a way to collectively be calm with others. I hope that whatever you're doing today, you're able to just squeeze in a few minutes to just be mindful, be still, be in tune with deep breathing, and I wish you lots of wellness.